Hi everyone, thanks for stopping by. Today I am going to be showing you some cards that I made using some old card making dies that I have from Sizzix that I haven't used in like forever. And they still make these dies and I think you're going to love them, and I'm even going to show you a couple of tricks. So let's get started.
So before I show you how I made these cards, I wanted to show you the cards to inspire you and get you excited about seeing how to make them. So these are 5 inches square when closed, and then you open it and it flips. And so these are called flip cards or flip-its. And I just love interactive cards and fun folds, and this is just awesome. And you can decorate it as much as you want. Like right here on the front, I'm going to fold this over so you can see how that works. As long as your decorations are below that, you can really pile up the front if you wanted to for it to flip. And you can use bling. You can just really go crazy. By the way, the paper that I used for this and the butterfly are from the Prima Marketing Rose Quartz collection. And I just love it. So this paper happens to be double-sided, which is really nice. And now let me show you another one. Actually, I've brought in 2 cards because these are the 2 cards that I am going to be showing you how to make later in this video. And they are both using the same cardstock, and they're both using the same pattern papers. And I'll show you how I did that. But these are Christmas cards, and I've kept them really simple. As you can see, there's not a lot of embellishments, and the paper is pretty busy by itself, and it sparkles. So I thought there was enough going on with these. I did add, I don't know if you could see it, I added some stickles to all of the white fluffy areas there on the Grinch. And here is a Charlie Brown one. And the only thing I added to this was a bow. But you can add a lot of decorations to these. I just like to keep things simple. So now let's head on over and see how I made these. These are the Sizzix dies that I used for the cards that I made today. And this one is called Majestic Flip-Its. And this one is called Card Fancy Frames Flip-Its. And you can still find these dies on Amazon and eBay, even though they are older dies. They are hard to find, but you can find them. And this is what the die looks like. And before you panic and say that will never fit in my machine, it is too fat, it is too big, I'm going to show you how this works with a Cuttlebug, and it'll work the same way with your Big Shot or whatever machine that you use. But I'll show you that in a minute. And I also wanted to show you that that only cuts the base of the card. It does not cut any layers. But that is not a problem because, let me grab it, like this card, I used patterned paper, but I'm going to show you today how to cut layers with this. So it's not going to be a problem at all. And I also happen to have the matching dies that go with each of these. And you can probably still find these, but I'm going to show you how to cut out. Let me grab it right here to show you. I'm going to show you how to cut these out without using these dies. So I have a lot to show you, and let's get started. So the first thing is how to use this die with your Cuttlebug. And it's real simple. You're not going to use the base plate, so we don't need this. We are just going to use 2 B plates. Well, let me turn it around so you can see this one. The other one's coming off, but 2 B plates. And you are just going to layer it between those. So this takes the place of the other one. It takes the place of the A mat that we don't need. And so what you're going to do is you're going to line it up so that the ends come together. You don't want it like this. You want it like that so that they match up. And yes, this hangs down a little bit further. Let me turn it sideways, but that's not going to matter. Okay, so you do that. You're going to take your paper, and I have cut this to 5.5 by I think 8.5. Whatever it is, it's bigger than what it needs to be. And so I'm just going to lay that right on top like that. And then I'm going to layer this right over the top like that. And now it's ready to go through the Cuttlebug. And there it is. It is already cut and the score marks are there, and I'll show you that in just a second. Okay, before I go on, I'm going to show you how to cut out this shape. And all you do is get a piece of cardstock that you want to use that's big enough to cover that opening right there. And we're just going to cover that up. And we're going to run this right through the Cuttlebug just like we did before. Okay, so it's going to look like this. And what you're going to do is you are going to take your scissors and you are just going to finish cutting around that circle on each side right down to the other side. And hopefully it looks better than mine because I actually didn't get mine perfectly rounded, but that is how you do that. Okay, before I get on to the layers, we're going to get back to the piece that we cut out. And I don't know if you can see it, but there are score lines there that make this so easy to fold. I mean, just like that, wham, bam, and they are folded. And that is how easy it is to create the base of this card. So now let me talk about the layers. So what I've done is I've cut out 2 more cards in 2 different patterns of paper. Now you can also do this with just 1 if you want. You don't have to do 2, but I want to do 2 because I'm going to use one for the front and a different one for the back side. And so what you do is you fold it the same way you did, and then we're going to grab our scissors and we're just going to cut right along those score lines on both sides. So let me grab my scissors. Okay, and doesn't matter which one I grab, but I just want to make sure that I am cutting right along those lines, separating right along the score line. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing front and back. And you can actually use the center part for something, if you want. Save it for another card. But I'm doing these front and back. And so I'm going to do the same thing to this one, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got all the pieces cut. And remember, save these because you might want to use them on another card, whether you finish cutting the circle right there or if you want to just, glue it on. So keep that in mind, save those. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to glue these on so that you can see what it looks like and how easy it is to add layers. Now, wasn't that easy? And now you have the layers for your cards without having to have any special dies or any special measuring. And of course, if you wanted to trim it down around the edges to leave a border, that's totally up to you. So I'm going to go do this to the other card, and then we're going to start putting one together real quick. If you were wondering, this is my handy dandy air hockey pusher that I use for a pressure tool when stamping with my Misty. And these stamps right here that I used are from Crackerbox and Suzy Stamps. And this is how they come packaged. So this is actually 3 different stamp sets in here. This is the Charlie Brown one that I used. This is the Grinch. Well, actually, yeah, that's the Grinch one that I used. And that is another one. So just in case you were wondering, Crackerbox and Suzy Stamps. Okay, and now it's ready to glue these pieces on. So let's get started with that. And basically, I'll just kind of recap a little bit that I've showed you how easy it is to create layers if you don't want to use, patterned paper. And I've shown you that it's possible to create these little pieces that you see me using right here. Now, of course, I used my dies to cut these out, but I showed you that you can do it even without a die. So we're just going to place that right on there, like so. And let's see, what else have I shown you? I'm just showing you how easy this is to do. I guess that's what I've done, especially, you know, if it's Christmas time and you're going to be making a lot of cards and you want to make something really cool, like a, you know, fun fold card or something like this. You don't want to be spending forever measuring and, you know, making sure that everything is just right. So having a die to do it all for you really is an amazing help. And you know me, I've done a lot of, you know, card making videos, and I show you how to do them, how to cut them, how to score them, all of that fun stuff. But I thought I would also show you how to do this with dies, and that's kind of what I've been doing lately. I've shown you, you know, a couple of videos now on how to do this. So there we go. And you can still decorate it. You can put little goodies right here, little gems, a little bow. There's just so many possibilities, but that is how easy it is to make cards with these Sizzix card dies. So that is how easy it is to make beautiful cards with the Sizzix Flip-Its dies. And you can do it with pattern paper, and this is actually a double-sided pattern paper, but you can do it with that, and you can decorate it up any way you want, a lot of bling or not very much. You can also cut it out of solid color cardstock and then cut out layers to put on there. And I mentioned it but didn't show it, and I really wish I had. But you can also trim a little off from all of these straight edges to create a really pretty border that will actually blend in nicely with this. And so that's just another way of doing this. But there you go. Just some wonderful card making ideas, Christmas, birthday, any occasion. They are so easy to make with these dies.
Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope this gave you some inspiration for some card ideas of your own. And also, I'm going to be putting links below to some of the places where you might be able to find these dies because I think you will love them. Happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye. If you like this video, I hope you give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, I hope you consider that too. And if you do, be sure to click the little bell next to the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos or giveaways. And I hope you stop by Crafters Castle on Facebook and also Crafters Castle Challenge blog to enter your creations.